Hey guys, welcome back to Adventure Camping. Tactical Nut here, and today we're going to talk about the Zonli Z-Walk Pro battery heated blanket. So let's just go ahead and dive right into it. So to get started with, upfront disclosure, they did ask me if I wanted to review this, so they sent it to me because I said yes, and I said yes because if you know anything about me and you've watched this channel for any length of time, I love the heat, but I absolutely hate being cold. To the point where I have spent a very long time upgrading a lot of my gear, clothing, you name it, battery heated, types of gear and stuff like that because I just can't stand being cold. Now, if you were to ask me why am I bringing it now, because hey, Tactical Nut, you live in the southeast United States and right now it is 91 degrees outside. Well, I'll tell you, because I want to be ahead of the game. I've had many times where I've reviewed winter gear, but it was at the end of the season because I was using it throughout the season, and by that point there's almost no reason in buying it because you're going to have to wait almost a year before you're going to need it again. At least if you live where I live. I know people, the season's hit a little early, so that's where this is coming into play. I want to be ahead of the game and let you know what I think about this blanket and the system, and but first let's give you the specs because these are important, right? So first off, when you get this, you're going to get this bag right here that it comes in, which is a really nice duffel bag. I mean, it's definitely made of some really good quality. You have carry handles here, you have a shoulder strap here, you have a strap here where you could attach it to your luggage if you needed to. Now, in the bag itself, in this main compartment, it is just one big open pocket with a very small zippered pocket, which I'll show in just a little bit. But on the back side, you have a larger full length of the bag zippered pocket, but as you can see, it is lined with plastic. So very good right there. You will get, when you get this blanket, a 20,000 milliamp power bank. This thing charges insanely fast. It's in like 2 hours. And for something of this capacity, that is just absolutely incredible. I've never had one charge this fast. And so if you need it with a blanket and you want to use it with the blanket, you can. But also, if it's not that cold and you don't need the extra warmth, well, you can use this to charge whatever devices that you have that can be charged by a power bank. You're also going to get your couple of charging cords. These are going to attach together to charge the power bank. And then last but not least, you will get your owner's manual. Hopefully you can see that. Now, let me go ahead and take this out real quick and I'll show you that one internal pocket, just in case you're super curious, but it's right here. It's not really deep, of which I'll show you. So about half my hand width, but it's about the entire width of my hand. So lengthwise, half, widthwise, whole. Now, what I was going to get to. So on this, with the specs that come with it, with the power bank attached, you're going to get 3 hours on high at 149 degrees, 5 hours on medium at 131 degrees, and 7 hours on low, which is 113. These are all great temperatures because one, if it gets really cold, you hit a cold snap, you can turn that blanket up. If it's not real cold outside and you just need a base layer of warmth, that low setting will last you most of the night. For most people anyway. 7 hours sleep is, in my opinion, really good in the outdoors because I usually never get that much. But as you can see right here, hopefully by the camera, you have the two heating pads that are directly in the middle. And you may notice the shape of this, and I'll show you why that is in just a second. But the features of the blanket you're going to get on the outside: water resistant, stain resistant outside of it, and on the inside you're going to get a nice, very plush fleece. Now, the features of the blanket, what I was going to show you because of that picture and the way it was shaped and why it's called what it is, you can wrap this around you. Oops, and I just undid it, but redo it again. As you can see right here, there's these snaps on either side. And then here you have magnetic clasps, right? And so now, let me move this up just a little bit. You can actually wear this as you're walking around doing stuff. So with the uses of this and the reason why you might want to do this, let's just say you're going to a sporting event and you're sitting in the bleachers and stuff like this. This way you can still have this blanket on, but you don't have to hold on to it and keep it clasped around you. If you're out camping, you can, one, be sitting by the fire, sitting, you know, everybody's sitting around. If you don't have a fire and you're all just sitting around because depending on where you live, whether you can have or not, you can have this wrapped around you and your hands free. You can still do other stuff, but still keep this warmth on you. And you can walk around with it, with the power bank in it. I'll show you where that is in just a minute. But it is just a lot easier if you were sitting to sit like this, wrap yourself up. And the advantage, one thing that I really like about this a lot is that you can use it with and without, right? Because you have a nice fleece blanket. Because there's times, I'll tell you right now, like how I've kind of used this so far and what I can tell it's going to work really well. You may live with someone that likes the house really cold. And there may be people in that same house that don't like the house really cold. So normally when I'm sitting around the house during the summer, like if we're just watching TV at night, you know, movie or something like that, I'm usually under a down blanket because the missus likes it a lot cooler than I do in the house, but we can see who wins that argument since I'm sitting always under a down blanket. So that tells you how cold affects me, that I can be indoors and still need a down blanket. But the interesting part is that, so I've been able to use that and use it at the very degrees of heat. And on high, to be honest, indoors, that was a bit warm. Medium was pretty good, low was perfect. Just because, I mean, it's in like the high 60s in the house. So, but you could easily tell that if you were outside and it was a lot colder. And of course, I'm always going to preface any kind of cold weather gear. The clothing that you're wearing is going to be a huge contributing factor into how effective your outer cold weather gear is. Like for example, I'm wearing a cotton t-shirt right now. If I was wearing this in the winter, or just a cotton shirt in general, and I was out doing stuff and started to sweat, now if I get cold, this is going to help warm me up, but it's not as effective as if you were wearing, let's say, a wool shirt or a synthetic material that was more moisture wicking. So base layers are important year round, don't care what it is. But with this, as you can see right here, you're going to get a power button, and then there's the zippered pouch with the cord to attach to the power bank. Now, I will tell you something that when I first got it and I got that power bank charged at an amazingly fast rate once again, I would just hit the power button, and because the instructions say to hold the power button on the blanket for 3 seconds. What you need to know, because I couldn't get the blanket to heat up at first because the power bank wouldn't stay on. So I contacted the company. They told me, you also have to hold this on for 3 seconds. And then that way, as you can see now, the light is staying on. So now your power bank is active, and then you can activate the blanket. Each click is just going to change the temperature, you know, high, medium, and low. So key thing to remember, that is very key, because I'm used to just plugging stuff in and the power bank automatically turns on and it works, right? Or I just hit the power button, I just click it once and it activates it and starts charging whatever it is that I need. This one, make sure you're holding the power button on the power bank for 3 seconds. That way you won't be like me and calling the company and saying, hey, why isn't this working, right? Super simple fix, it's worked. Since then, you just have to be cognizant of that one thing, because I don't think it said it in the instruction manual. But, I mean, there's a multi-uses of this, right? RV camping, out in the woods camping, sporting events, around your house, keep it in your car as an emergency layer. because let's just say you're traveling and you broke down on the side of the road and it's winter, really cold, and like a lot of people I know that don't take coats with them or wear the proper clothing. I'm not going to say who, but you know who you are. This is a good emergency backup to getting yourself warm in a bad situation, right? So you got a lot of uses with something like this. It's extremely comfortable. Now weight-wise, I would not take this backpacking. I'll just go ahead and say that right. Like car camping, RV camping, sporting events where you're not hiking long distances, not because it's extremely heavy, it's just, it's bulky. And so trying to add that to your kit if you were backpacking would be a really difficult thing to do. But I think you're really gonna like this. So if you like this kind of content, guys, please hit like, share, subscribe, turn on the notification bells. I'm gonna start cranking out videos like crazy because I've got a bunch of content that is ready to go. So if you wanna see it, just make sure you're hitting that notification bell so you know. But also it helps with the algorithms, it helps the channel, it helps me continue to get gear like this so that I can bring it to you and test it and review it and give you my opinion on what I think. I think this is going to be a huge success. I think you will like it because, I mean, those temperature levels are going to be pretty effective, and with the amount of usage you can get out of it, I think you're really going to like it too. So, hopefully this will help you in your purchasing decisions of finding a great multi-use battery heated blanket. I think you're really going to like it. You need to check them out. I'll leave the link on Amazon down below. The price is good for what it provides, in my opinion. Everybody's budget is going to be, very different, but I think it's going to be worth the investment because I think this one right here goes for $129, and your build quality, your stitching, all of that kind of stuff. I know it's harder to see on a GoPro, but it's just been excellent. And I'm telling you, I'm trying to get you prepped for the season so you know ahead of time, before the cold weather starts, how to go into the cold weather, already being prepared, like I preach all the time. All right, guys, once again, hopefully this will help you. And in the meantime, be prepared, have fun, and check out the Zonli.